Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, man, we got one hole every NBA team can fill in the 2022 free agency, man. Let me know in the comment section below if there's one free agent you could realistically get this offseason. Who would it be? Let me know, man. But let's get going on this, starting with the Atlanta Hawks wing defense. Yeah, man, like I saw that they were going after Rudy Gobert. Like they're looking to give up a big, huge package to get him. And I don't know why. I feel like Clint Capella does fine at center. I feel like it is the perimeter and wing defense that could improve. So, yeah, hopefully that is what they address in the offseason here. Here we got Boston Celtics back up big. Okay, man. So with the Celtics, you got that Robert Al, rotation. Al Horford is getting older. With that being said, the dude still dominates basketball every now and then, so he will be back next season. For the bench unit, they do got Grant Williams. I do think that they could use some type of center on the team. Realistically, if they could get somebody like, maybe get like Kelly Olynyk back. Obviously, that's trade, not free agency, though. But, I don't know, man. Like, I think there's some options out there. I don't know if free agency is the best way to find the backup center they need. Like I said, something like Olynyk would be kind of cool. I also think maybe even going for like Jonathan Isaac from the Magic and using Al Horford as a backup big off the bench that can play both positions. That might be a route too. But yeah, man. Here we have Brooklyn Nets rim protection. So for that, you're probably looking at maybe like a Mitchell Robinson. I actually have the free agency tracker up in here, man. I want to check this out real quick. I was checking out before I did this video. But yeah, so centers. I think Mitchell Robinson probably the move though, man. Oh, Mo Bamba would be kind of interesting on the Nets. Ain't gonna lie, but kind of got some old heads up in here. You really don't want to bring back Drummond, I don't think. Yeah, we got Mitchell Robinson, so there's some choices, but definitely a lot of old head centers. Not gonna lie. What about Nurkic maybe? We have the Charlotte Hornets, also rim protection. Yeah, Mason Plumlee was pretty solid for the Pistons. Didn't do much for the Hornets though. I do also, I don't know what's going on with Montrezl Harrell. Apparently he was caught with something and he's facing like jail time, I think, last I heard about it. So that's really gonna hurt the center rotation for them if something like that happens. But I do see them going for like a Mark Williams in the draft. But yeah, they can go out there and get themselves a center. That'd be kind of nice too. Chicago Bulls also rim protection. I don't think this is going to be addressed via free agency unless they go for a backup center. Maybe they get like an Hassan Whiteside or somebody like that. But I don't know, man. Another team that's definitely in the running going for Rudy Gobert. So trade might be better over free agency. Cleveland Cavaliers wing depth. Yeah, I do not like Lauri Markkanen at the 3. I really don't. Like, I could see in certain lineups where it's intriguing and interesting to utilize him there, but I think for the long term, trying to win a championship, it's not the move. Jetty Osman's cool and everything like that. Caris LeVert, I'll say Caris is more of a shooting guard, can play some small forward, but I do fully expect them to go for a small forward in the draft. I think more of like a short-term time thing that could, kind of get like somebody that can help like right now. Maybe you go for like a TJ Warren or somebody like that. But yeah, wing depth for sure. Dallas Mavericks, number 2 scorer. See, man, I feel like when you have like this solidified number 2 on the Mavericks, like, when they had like Kristaps Porzingis and stuff, like that wasn't their best basketball. I still think very much so like Luka Doncic being the number 1 guy and then having a lot of really skilled guys, around him, I think makes a lot of sense. But also having guys like Jalen Brunson or Tim Hardaway that can like step up on a game-to-game basis. But to have like that solidified number 2, man, like if they could get like a Zach LaVine or somebody like that, that would be fantastic. I don't think it's absolutely needed though. And I feel like to get that number 2, you really got to get somebody that doesn't have like a big time ego. You have to get the Chris Middleton to the honest, somebody that can give you that silent 20 points a game on really good efficiency, but isn't going to be too salty if the ball's on their hands all the time. We have the Denver Nuggets perimeter defense. Yeah, probably at the 2 spot mostly. I mean, the Nuggets, it's really hard to really know exactly what they need because we have not seen this team, completely healthy in over a season. And who knows, like maybe Michael Porter comes back, being a 6'11" player, maybe he can take his defense to a next level and just fix things like that. But yeah, ultimately speaking, maybe just getting like some bench dudes that could play some good defense, everything could be nice too. We got the Detroit Pistons with shooting. Yeah. Yet. I don't really know, man. I don't know what my Pistons need. Like shooting, I feel like we do fine offensively speaking. Cade, Sadiq, Olynyk can knock it down. I think the front court, if we do end up getting rid of Jeremy Grant, you do run a rotation with Marvin Bagley, Isaiah Stewart. That could be a little wonky. It also depends who we get in the draft and everything like that too. But okay, I don't mind. You could always use some additional shooting. Killian Hayes doesn't take a lot of threes, but he's been better with it this season. So I would like to see maybe like a more like high prolific type of scorer next to Cade Cunningham at that 2 spot though. Ain't gonna lie. So we'll see. Golden State Warriors back up 1. It depends. I think that if they bring back, they bring back the team as is, with Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, Steph Curry, but still want to retain Jordan Poole. I think Jordan Poole is going to be very expensive to keep him long term. Like he is. He deserves the money. Let's call it like it is. And you don't want to have Jordan Poole off the bench and not playing a ton of minutes with a big contract. So I feel like when they use Jordan Poole as like a backup point guard at times and everything, I actually think that kind of makes a lot of sense. I think the ball moving team, having Draymond Green out there, having guys that know the system allows that to happen. I don't think they need to go out there and get like the next like Sean Livingston. I feel like Jordan Poole can be both those positions, being the point guard and shooting guard backup for this team going forward. Now, if Klay Thompson's gone or whatever, they do some crazy trade that's different, Jordan Poole comes in the starting lineup, then yeah, you want to address that. But in the short term, I think they're all right. Houston Rockets point guard. So right now, point guard rotation, they got Schroeder around the team, which I completely always just forget about. They got John Wall, who's probably still not going to play next season. Starter Kevin Porter Jr., who I think made some pretty good strides as an actual point guard. I think he does have to work on his turnovers and everything like that. But if they decide they don't want to go with Kevin Porter long-term as the point guard, then you want to address that sooner rather than later. But I still think they're going to give that another run next season and everything. Makes me a little nervous, though, because they're going to go out there and get a top-notch big dude with Paolo, Chet, Jabari, one of those guys. So you do want to make sure you have a point guard that can get those guys, or whatever player they get, the ball in the best circumstance. So, very curious what this Rockets team looks like at the end of the offseason. Indiana Pacers starting 4. Yeah, I think that's something they could probably address via the draft. And, they also still have TJ Warren, who we have not seen in quite some time on the team that can play that 4 spot. But, they got rid of Sabonis and everything like that. So Miles Turner is the starting 5, which there's been trade rumors about him. Yeah, this O'Shea Brissett, I've been hearing good things about him. So he's not a long-term answer, but I know Pacer fans might think differently about that. I think if they go out there and they get somebody like a Keegan Murray, though, that could kind of take care of things in the short term. So we'll see. We got the LA Clippers with a floor general. So Reggie Jackson did a pretty solid job of, really taking over some of the scoring with Kawhi and Paul George being out. But it's been an issue with this Clippers team for quite a few seasons. They don't really have that playmaking point guard that I think they desperately need. I really wanted them to go for Kyle Lowry when he was available on the Raptors. That obviously did not happen. I think if you really want to do a short-term thing, I know Clipper fans probably don't want to hear this, but even going for somebody like a Russell Westbrook, I think the Lakers would be would sell Russell Westbrook for the right price. Have that be getting some different pieces out there like a Reggie Jackson and a Marcus Morris or a Luke Kennard, somebody like that. But floor general, I think that's something definitely to address this offseason. We'll see how they do it. Lakers wing defense. I mean, the Lakers, they need a little bit of everything, man. They really do. They need that wing defense, but I also think you need some bucket getters up in there too. Some good shooters, especially with AD struggling from the perimeter during the season. Russell Westbrook not being a great shooter. That's a big thing to address. But, you could say wing defense. Let's call it like it is. They need the 3-and-D guys back. That's what made them really successful when they won their last ring, having guys like KCP or Alex Caruso on the team that can play some great defense, but also knock down the shot. They need more of that. They need more role players that can really play those type of roles. Memphis Grizzlies shooting. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You can always do more shooting in the NBA. Maybe they go out and grab themselves Joe Harris or somebody like that. That could definitely be good for them. The Miami Heat playmaking, which is actually kind of funny because I said Kyle Lowry, I thought could have fixed that for the Clippers if he was on the team. Obviously, he is on the Heat, and it's still a point of emphasis to address. I don't know, man. I don't really like Kyle Lowry's contract now, if I'm being quite honest. I feel like this team would be better if they could get themselves a young, athletic, playmaking type of point guard. We'll see how they do that, though. The cap space situation is kind of interesting. I don't know, man. I haven't really heard too many rumors about them going for a point guard. It's been mainly can we trade Tyler Hero for Donovan Mitchell or something like that? It's kind of what I've been hearing more of. Milwaukee Bucks wing depth. Yeah, big part of this, obviously, losing Chris Middleton. in the playoffs and everything, like you want to be prepared if something like that does happen. Again, that wing depth is very, very important. Minnesota Timberwolves also with the wing depth. Yeah, especially from like the defensive standpoint, because they definitely do run more of a small ball type of lineup, having Anthony Edwards play that 3 spot, having Patrick Beverley, D'Lo up in there. I could very much see a D'Lo type of trade this season. Maybe they go for a two-way type of player for that small forward spot. You got Patrick Beverley at point guard, Ant-Man at the 2. You get some of that wing depth at the 3 spot. That would put them in a pretty good circumstance. We got the New Orleans Pelicans with shooting. Yeah, this Pelicans team, their lineup is going to be interesting next season, man, because it's probably going to be like this lineup of, I don't know, CJ McCollum at the point guard spot, Ingram at the 2. You probably have like, who is it? Yeah, Herb that was really dominating at the 3 spot. Well, he was at the 4, but he'll be at the 3. Zion at the 4, Valanciunas at the 5. Maybe you go, I actually kind of like Valanciunas. But it's definitely a positionless basketball type of lineup, man. It's definitely like leaning towards that, very much so like the Toronto Raptors. So I don't know how you fix that, though. I guess maybe like, I feel like Herb, Ingram, CJ, and Zion should all be starting. So to do that, the only way you can really improve the shooting aspect is even if you do like more of like a small ball lineup with Zion at the 5 and Herb at the 4, which I think you could definitely get away with in today's NBA. But yeah, it's really how they want to run their lineup, and you can approach how you can improve the shooting looking at that. We got the New York Knicks point guard. Yeah, this team has tried everything, man, to find that point guard. They need their long-term dude up in there, man. Like Kemba Walker just wasn't it. I don't know who they end up with. It would be fun if they got Kyrie Irving. I don't know if that's going to happen, though. But I don't know. I feel like I'd much rather see them go for like a Dyson Daniels or a Ty Washington in the draft and try to like do something with that. But I could also see the team too where it's like, okay, we got pretty good foundation with Julius, RJ, who I think is one of the most underrated players in the NBA. Let's get that point guard that can kind of pull things together. I can see them going that route too. I just don't know how they get it done exactly. We got the OKC Thunder wings. Kind of disagree with this to an extent. I think this team needs to focus more on finding a big guy. Now, obviously, they're going to get that in the draft, having the number 2 pick. But I don't know, man. I feel like this team's actually pretty set with their lineup. Now, you might not think that Pukashevsky or Baisley is like the long-term solution at the 4 spot. I'll give you that. But, you know, they're going to end up with a lineup of Shea, Giddey, Dort, somebody at that 4 spot, and then probably like a Chet or somebody at the 5. So we'll see what they do, man. We got the Orlando Magic with the wings. Yeah, this team got a lot of big dudes, got a lot of guards. I think to consolidate some of that and get them a dominant wing definitely be a good route to go. And I'm talking more like the small forward spot, because right now how I would run it with the Magic is I would say Suggs at point guard. That 2 spot, you know, you're probably looking at Cole Anthony, but you also got Markelle Fultz on the team too. And then obviously you got Jonathan Isaac, who should be back next season, but you also got Franz Wagner, who was a top rookie in the NBA. Obviously going to get a great player in the draft, so we'll see, man. The Magic are going to be interesting. 76ers, perimeter defense. Okay, beyond that, you got to say perimeter defense, but also guys that can knock down shots. Because you got somebody, you know, like Matisse Thybulle that can bring so much defensively, but he can't do anything offensively. That's what it really hurts at a lot. So, yeah, maybe the solution there is Matisse just becoming better at shooting. Suns, front court versatility. I think you are going to be able to find this via a DeAndre Ayton sign and trade. Now, I know me personally, man, I'm not trying to be like biased or anything like that, but I really do think there is a trade to be had with the Detroit Pistons here to give them that front court versatility. Have that be a type of trade, maybe a Jeremy Grant, Kelly Olynyk, and even as far as Beef Stew, as, you know, to go out and get DeAndre Ayton and the Pistons, because from the Suns standpoint, you know, you have the dynamic shooter that can be a good playmaker in Olynyk. Like, he was really nice for the Pistons. A lot of you guys probably didn't watch a lot of Pistons basketball last season, but he was like a big part of the Pistons bench when he was healthy. He was a big difference maker. You get Beef Stew, that could be that young player, but that high energy guy that you can start or use off the bench. I don't feel like either way Beef Stew will embrace that role. And you get Jeremy Grant that can give you that Jay Crowder type of replacement. You can still run it out there with him and the rotation of Cam Johnson. I almost get Cam Thomas. Cam Johnson. Like, I feel like that's very nice for both sides, man. So, yeah. We got Portland Trailblazers defense. Yeah, I think Nazir Little could be a big part of that. I think Nazir is going to be a candidate for most improved player next season, man. I really do think that. But I don't think Nurkic is what this team really wants anymore. I could see him being gone. Maybe you do a sign and trade with the Knicks and bring in Mitchell Robinson. I think that could be kind of a W for both sides. Here we have the Sacramento Kings with the Wings. That rhymed. But I'm just thinking about the rotation. You got Sabonis at the 5 spot. You do have, you probably have your rotation with Fox, Mitchell, Dante for the point guard / shooting guard spots. So I got Harrison Barnes though on the team. Sean Holmes could be traded. But yeah, getting themselves some nice athletic wing to run with this team could be nice. Miles Bridges could be interesting. San Antonio Spurs, volume shooting. So that could definitely be solved if they could convince Zach LaVine to come to the Spurs team. But that is what this Spurs team needs. Like, the Jonathan Murray's the good all-around player. Yeah, Jakob Poeltl, who is a great interior defensive center. You have Keldon Johnson, who I think is a 3-level scorer. But I just think having that closer, that go-to scorer, man, at the clutch, that Zach LaVine type could really get the Spurs team to the next level. Here we have the Toronto Raptors with wing depth. I disagree. I think this team got too much wing depth. You got Pascal, you got Scotty, you got OG up in there. What this team needs is that center to kind of bring it all together, man. So, yeah, I don't really think they need wing depth. I think they're pretty much good there, but that's just my opinion. We got the Utah Jazz with... Plus, they also got that... what's his name? Man, I always forget his name, bro. Damn. Starts with a B. Is Barton? Something like that? I don't know. I just know he's pretty solid on the Raptors, but I'm hating myself for forgetting his name right now. Utah Jazz perimeter defense. Yeah. The defense, especially if they get ready to Rudy Gobert, like, this team could have the biggest defensive fall off in NBA history, man. I like Royce O'Neal a lot. I don't think Mike Conley is like the solution from the point guard spot. So yeah, if they can go out there and get like a solid, defensive type of point guard, that'd be fantastic. Washington Wizards point guard, no doubt. Right now they got Ish Smith. They'll probably get a point guard in the draft, maybe like a Ty Washington or somebody like that. But they definitely got to find somebody to put next to Bradley Beal if they want to keep him happy and around. And plus they got Kristaps Porzingis. So yeah, a player can make a big difference in this case here, man. But that's all we got for today's video. Let us all thank in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.